then really put a stamp on the 60s and the 60s culture. So essentially what happened was that Frankfurt School ideas were pumped intravenously into world culture by the 60s revolution through pop music. You know, it has to be acknowledged. Much as you love this music, you have to listen to some of the stuff, like, and see what the values are. I mean, and so on. Some of it is good, and some great people, some great artists, like Bowie, great artist, for certain. But, you know, when you look at some of his early life, he was very much influenced by this kind of hedonistic, nihilistic kind of mentality, you know, that to create confusion, sexual confusion, you know, gender, whatever, dysphoria, or whatever the hell it's called, and all this stuff. But as he grew matured, interesting, there's a great book to be written about Bowie, like, because, you know, Bowie's trajectory was really amazing and nobody talks about it. That eventually he came to the point where he was actually talking about songs as prayers. And he did that extraordinary gesture, which people should really, if they want to kind of just really start thinking about what you've been told and what's true. That moment in the Freddie Mercury tribute concert in Wembley in, I think, 2001, I think. It was a year on from Freddie Mercury's death. Now, I may have the years wrong. When Bowie had done his set, and he then said, I want to do something for Freddie, and I want to do it for friends of mine. He named a particular friend who was dying of AIDS, and this was like, AIDS was kind of, you know, so I think it was actually back in the 90s. I can't remember the exact date. And he said, I want to make this gesture. And he got down on one knee and he said, the Our Father. And it blew everybody's head. And nobody ever mentioned it again. No. And when you see the concert, they've taken it out. But it's there on YouTube. You put in David Bowie, Our Father. It's the most amazing moment. And to watch the way he does it, and the way he walks away then past the camera, and his face says, I did it, I got away with it. That shows how subversive he was. He was aware of all this stuff, how the culture had been subverted, and how he had been made to become a part of it.
To become a part of it. How, maybe Bono might have an awakening like that. Wouldn't that be wonderful now?
It's interesting.
Well, I mean, and it's interesting how you actually pointed out to me a shout out that Bono did at a concert there a few years ago too.
Cardinal McCarrick.
And to those listeners who don't know who Cardinal McCarrick is?
Well, Cardinal McCarrick has just been, he's no longer Cardinal McCarrick. He's not even Monsignor McCarrick. He's not even Father McCarrick. He is now Mr. McCarrick, because he's been laicized, you know, much to the, I think, dismay of the Pope, but he has been, because of his career, long career of abusing boys, teenage boys. And
what is Bono doing shout outs to him, I wonder?
Well, it's a good question. You see, the problem is once you get into that world, you're mixing with very dodgy characters, you know.
Yeah, well, it's a demonic world, like, but, you know, we know there's a demonic Luciferian world.
Go back to the question that you raised there about Bono, and it's very interesting. I would say that Bono actually went the other way around. He started off trying to make rock and roll real in terms of his Christian faith.
He did.
And then he got seduced by the world. It's the direct opposite journey to the one that Bowie went.
That's right.
And he's going in the opposite direction. He's moving towards a more hedonistic, nihilistic outlook on reality.
But maybe as he approaches the winter of his life, he might, you know, have some sort of a reawakening. Maybe, hopefully, he will, because it's so sad. Because his early music was, yeah, I mean, it was biblical. It was, you know, it was inspirational for our generation, John, in many ways. And to see that he is now associated with the likes of George Soros and, you know, this awful new world order, it's sickening. Yeah, but anyway, who cares? I don't care about Bono. I actually hate even.
But it's interesting.